Previously on No Man's Land, I had all 4 of my fields of soybeans to harvest, so I got the combines out and onto those fields to take care of them before unloading all those beans into the trailer and picking up some more beans that I had in the silo, and then I headed to the sale point to dump them off and finished off with 1.895 million in the bank account. I used that money to do some terraforming so I could build my first farmhouse on this map, which looks very nice. I have a nice little garage, landscaped very well. And then I finished off the episode by creating some paths around the farm to clean it up a little bit. Alright, welcome back folks to another episode on No Man's Land. Today I'm going to start off by driving around the farm just a little bit because I did make a couple changes between episodes. As you can see, I got this path extended out here this way. I have started to paint over some of the fields. They do look a bit smaller now, but once I go into the pause menu, you will see it does. The plan is to make it look very different around here. So I've got the path extended out to here, and I also did buy plot 34, which is just that one right there in between episodes, so we have that now. I connected this path last episode. I got it back up to that path there, although I have cut out some of the field either side of the path to make it look a little bit better. And if we go into the map, you can see I do have 3 fields set up. I am not going to touch the 4th one for right now because there's not much we can modify it. Eventually I'd like to get into field 58, but for now I have these 3 fields selected. So what my plan for today is to get all 3 of these fields fully created and planted. So let's start off by getting back to the farm. That is just over here. If you remember a couple episodes ago, I bought a second field creator cultivator with this very project in mind. So I'll have 2 of those to run. My plan is to get at least 1 field, if not 2, planted with corn, 1 planted with barley, and then probably 1 more planted with soybeans. So let's park this guy up here. We're going to hop in the first tractor, which is going to be our 9520. And then we're going to connect up to the first of 2 field creating cultivators that we will be sending out. So let's hook it up. There we go, very nice. And I think the first field that I'm going to send it on is actually going to be the tall skinny field. So we'll drive it around this way. We'll use our brand new path to get over there. And once I'm over the field, what I am going to do is, just for now, I'm going to make sure that our field targets the entire thing, which it doesn't seem to do. So I think what I need to do is go into our settings, and we need to prefer custom fields. So when we head back here and we can create a job, you can see now our white outline is right around here. Very nice. So it's recognizing that. We'll go into here. We're going to do 4 headlands. There we go. Very nice. We want to unfold our harvester, and we also want to make sure that allow field creations is on, just like so. And let's get this very brand new field ripped up. I mean, there isn't that much of it that's brand new, but we are extending a little bit, which will definitely help with our harvest yields. There we go. This field's cultivator is in the ground and going. Now I know that I will have some trees that I will need to clear. They are in the way of the allotted plot I've given for this field. So once I bump into them with the field cultivators, I will get those taken care of. But for now, I'm going to hop into the 8R and get the second field cultivator going. Okay, we've got the second field cultivator out and onto the field now. I'm just going to back it up. I believe because we have prefer custom fields on, it should be much easier. So we'll generate the course and it should extend out beyond what we've already had. Very nice, just like so. Let's open up our help menu and ensure that allow create fields is on. It is. There we go. Now we can send this guy on his way as well and get our second brand new field created. Okay, now that we've got those 2 cultivators going, I think what I want to do now is, because we have $1.3 million in the bank still, I want to look at buying some tractors. So I think actually before I buy tractors, I want to sell those 2 Massey Fergusons. We've gotten some good use out of them, but I no longer not that I no longer need them. I do want to upgrade them to some newer tractors. So let's go into here. We're only going to get about $18,000 for this small Massey, and for the $49,000 we're going to get $88,000. Sorry, the $4,900 I should say. So I do want to go for something case. I think all the tractors I'm going to buy today are probably going to be case. So let's look at our small tractors. We have this Luxem series or the Maxim series. I think I'll go for something closer to the Maxim series. We'll make it the Maxim CVX 145. That's with 175 horsepower. And we'll just set it up to our liking. All right, there we go. We've got a front attach on it, some tinted windows and some wheel weights. We'll buy that for 148,000. Very nice. And then I also want to look at getting one more large tractor, I think, because I don't think it makes sense to buy a medium tractor with the amount of money we have. So for that, I am thinking probably something in and around this guy. So I'm thinking for the bigger tractor, we'll probably go with this Magnum AFS 400. We've got 435 horsepower. We're going to do some wheel weights. I think we're just going to keep the regular tires. We're going to add some tint. Make sure that we have a 3-point attacher on it with a front weight. We're going to go for 980 kgs. I'm going to make sure we have GPS on it. And there we go. We'll buy that for $358,000. And then I want to make sure that we get a second seating implement. We'll look at our options. I don't know if it's quite ready to get a air cart and air drill set up from John Deere, because that would cost us over $500,000, which I don't know if I want to spend that right now. So I think our best option is probably just to get another one of these guys, which we already have. Let's see, this I did just pass. This is a 12-meter working width. This is 15. Yeah, I think our best option is going to be one of these guys again. We'll make sure that we bump our speed all the way up to 26 kilometers an hour. Oh, 28 kilometers an hour. And we'll buy him for $206,000. Very nice. Now, I know we do have a second cultivator. Part of me thinks that I should buy a third. Maybe not buy, maybe we'll lease a third just so we can get that third field going, because it will take quite a while to get all these fields done. So let's look at our cultivators. And I believe what we have is one of these guys. Yeah, 2 owned. So let's buy this, or not buy, let's lease it, I should say. So we'll make sure we're at 25 kilometers an hour. We'll lease it only for $5,000, so that's very manageable with the funds that we have. So let's head over to the shop and see our new equipment. Okay, so we've got our new seeder. We've got our new Case 145 Maxim, I believe, and the Maxim 400. No, Magnum 400. And then we've also got our cultivator, which we are just leasing right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up this 400 power drive to the cultivator. And what I will also do is actually just send it right into the field right away once we get it back to the farm. So let's head there now and let's put it to work. Okay, so I've got the case over to the third field that we need to get cultivated. I make sure that allow fields is on. We've got our course created. All we need to do is hit play on our course and this guy should take care of this field for us. Very nice. Seems like we've run into our first tree, so let's hop out of here. Now that we do have our headlands, we can actually make sure there's no more trees that are going to be in the way. Doesn't look like it. Very nice. So this field should just be good to go until he's done. And I'm thinking about it. I will probably actually extend that path around. There's a kind of an old path over there that I'll probably connect to. And it seems like for some reason that this guy had some trouble the last time around. So I'm going to hop in with him and make sure that he actually gets a headland done, because you know what? Allow fields wasn't on. I don't know why that had switched over. That's odd. Anyways, now he should be able to do his job, I think. Yes, there we go. Very nice. Okay, got that figured out. He should be able to finish his job without us. We will need to see, actually, let me see if I can get some of these trees knocked out of the way now. Okay, so I've looked at all the fields now that are being created. All the trees should be out of the way, so these guys shouldn't stop until they're finished, in theory. So what I want to do now is I want to go back to the shop. We still have that other tractor as well as the seeder that are ready to be sent to the shed, so we'll hook up onto that and get it back home.
Now, thinking about it, I do want to get the corn planter running right away. And I don't know if I have a tractor that will be able to pull that right now, because this is really the only tractor that isn't being used. The rest are in the field. Actually, unless the Kloss, I do know that the Kloss tractor has quite a bit of power in it, so I'll have to check to see how much that has, because if we can run the corn planter with the Kloss combine, then I likely won't buy another one. But if we can't, then I think we will. So the Kloss stuff is hooked up to the mower. Let's just go into our garage, our owned items. We have 295 horsepower on that. Our planter requires 340. Our seeder requires 300. So I do think we are going to be buying a new tractor, a third new tractor, that is. So ideally I want something above 360 horsepower probably. I'm not sure if I'm going to find that in a medium tractor. It looks like so far I've seen the highest at 313, 313 again. So let me look at the large tractor again. I don't know if I need a really big large tractor or just one on kind of on the smaller end. We can get up to 435 out of this, 313 out of that, 435 on this machine. How much would it cost me for 374 horsepower would be $332,000. We can afford it for sure. I am interested in getting, I like the back tracks on it. I've never actually seen back tracks. We're going to go for a US design. We'll add a monitor, why not? No, I think this is really going to be a pulling tractor. So we'll get some weights on it. We'll get some GPS. There we go. $346,000 for our third tractor. Let's get it home and then hooked up to the corn planter. And then we can get it planting corn in that lower field that doesn't need to be cultivated. Okay, back at home now. I'm hoping that I don't have the issue with the corn planter that I did last time I used it, where I couldn't fill it up with seed, because unfortunately you do need seeds in the seeder to plant the seeds. I wish you didn't, but you do. So we're going to take it over to the multi-fruit buying station. I really hope it works this time. I've had it work before, so it should. And I'm also using a different tractor. So let's see if it works. Ah, there we go. We got seed in the planter. Very nice. Boy, oh boy, am I happy to see that. Let me make sure that this field doesn't need lime. It's going to be a shame if it does, because we could have had that done. It needs lime and it needs to be sprayed. Two things that we could have had going while we were doing all the other stuff, but not a big deal. I will get to use my new case. What is it? 145, CVX 145. That's it. All right, I'll hook up to the sprayer, and then I will also get the lime spreader hooked up on the Kloss, and we'll get these fields knocked out so we can start planting it with corn. I don't know what this guy was doing, but he was going the complete wrong way for some reason. That was weird. All right, I've got the Kloss 870 hooked up to the lime spreader here. I'm gonna get going on this field as well, and then once it's going, we can just follow in right behind with the corn planter. So now that this guy's going, we're spreading our lime. Very nice. You can see our herbicide sprayer is doing its job properly finally. So let's hop into our new Magnum 340 power drive hooked up to our corn planter. We're gonna open it up. While it opens, because it will take just a little bit of time, I'm gonna get a course set up, and then we can get going with corn into this field. All right, there we go. Course has been created and corn is being planted into this field. Very nice. And I really like how these fields are looking now. They just look a lot more proper. It just looks cleaner with the path now in between. There's no longer that bump over there. And look at that new case tractor. Look, we still got a couple more minutes left on this guy, just about 6 more minutes left, and then this field will be ready to get limed, and then we can get soybeans. Probably I'm going to do soybeans, but whatever we plant, we can get that into the ground here. All right, I'm just making my way over with the lime spreader. This, as you can see, this tractor is just about done on this kind of new-ish field, I guess, if you want to call it that. It does need some lime though, because we did break some new ground, so it will need it. So I've just got a course set up now. We'll send this lime spreader on his way, and he can get this field done. And I will actually be ready to put, once we have a free tractor, which we should once the 9520 is done, I'll be able to get this ground seeded. All right, this guy is done building our new field. So we'll get him unhooked from the cultivator, hooked onto the seeder, and right back out to this field. Okay, just pulling up this field that's been sprayed with lime. I think what I'm actually going to put in this field is barley. We will need that for the pigs, and we're pretty low on our supply of it right now, so it probably does make sense to get some barley into this ground. So we'll just get a course generated, make sure you set to first waypoint, and there we go. We'll get this planted. I'm still undecided if I want to do 2 fields of barley, 2 fields of corn, or 2 fields of soybeans. So we will see. But so far so good. Everything's going well. If you can look, our lime spreader is just about done. We've still got about 14 minutes left on this field, but then this field is, I don't know, yeah, 7 minutes away from being done. Corn's getting planted, very nice. Our our herbicide is actually done getting sprayed, so I can get that sent back to the shed. But yeah, corn field is not too far from being finished. That'll be that for this field, and then I've got 2 more to both spray with lime and get planted. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so that's the last of the cultivating for this field done. What I'm going to do is fold this cultivator up. I'm going to hop into this lime spreader and get it going on this field right away. And once that's going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the cultivator off and then hook that tractor up to a seeder and get it seeding as well. We will turn in here and get this second cultivator put away. Very nice. And then we will scoot right over here and pick up our seeder. Okay, the drill is full of soybean seeds. We've got a course created for this tractor, and he is on its way. It's going to take about 21 minutes to get this field seeded. And it looks like our corn planter ran out of fertilizer just before finishing up the track, so I'm going to have to run over there, fill it up with fertilizer, and then run back to finish up that last patch. But alrighty, we are full of seed and fertilizer, and we have done that last little bit. We can fold this thing right back up and head right to where we just came from. This tractor, I think, will be done for the day. We won't need it any longer, so we can put them into storage. And it looks like our last cultivator is just about wrapped up. Very, very nice. So that means we can get it back to shed. And I forgot, there is one that we have leased that we want to return, which is not the one that we have on our tractor right now. That's okay. So now what we can do is, I do see a little bit that we need to go over, which is not the end of the world. I'll just unfold it again really quick. Okay, so I've got the cultivator away. I'm going to back this tractor up into storage because we will also not be needing it anymore today. So we can put them there. Very nice. And I'm going to look, actually, do we have pigs that are ready to sell? Not quite. These have just a couple more months to go, I think, before they're ready to sell, so we can't do anything with them just yet. But I think we are pretty close to full on all the wool that we have. Let's look at when the best time to sell this stuff is. It seems like it's in May. We are in July. Let's look at what the cost is, how much of a loss. Yeah, it's pretty significant. It doesn't get much lower than what we're at right now. So I think what I want to do is I want to look at, see if there are any sheds that hold pallets. So I think this thing should hold pallets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here, I think. And then I want to get some gravel around it because it seems like you unload from one side and then you load from another side. So let's see if I can, there we go. Okay, very nice. And I will go like that, and then I will send it like so, I think. And we can extend this driveway out to here. And we'll do that while we're at it. Okay, so I think this should be able to store pallets. I'm actually going to get rid of this too. It'll all just be gravel, I suppose. Let me look at the trailers and see if what the trailers have for auto load. This can hold 16? Oh, 32. Okay, 32 might be a better option. Let me see what else there is. This Brantner DD24073 auto load. This holds 32 pallets. It's only going to cost us about $40,000. We're gonna change the color to black. Auto load for pallets, very nice. We can buy him, and then let's hop into, well, actually, let's make sure that, okay, this guy is out of seed, so I'm gonna fuel him up with seed. And I actually think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a multi-fruit buying station out by this side as well. I think it just makes sense, because it's easily accessible for these two fields, so we'll put it there instead of having to go all the way to the other side of the farm. Okay, so there we go. We've got seed back in this guy. We will just take him over to where he finished off to finish up the rest of his bit. He should only have maybe 2 minutes left, I would think, because that only looks like maybe 3 passes at most. All right, once this guy's unfolded, he will continue on his way. Let's check to see. I think we have a collision over here. Ah, yes, the old standoff. Okay, I'm going to, there we go. He will continue on his way. Take him right back to where he finished. Make sure we're on nearest waypoint. And there you go. So this spreader is almost done. So I'm actually going to stay in this guy because he only has 20 seconds left. And then we can get him on this field here. I do have to name all these fields. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. But I'll figure that out when I get the rest of these fields finished up. And we are getting there as this lime field, or sorry, as this lime spreader is done. So we can get it over to the next one. Okay, lime is going down on this last field here. It looks like the cedar is, oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Stopped him from finishing his course. My bad. But he should be fairly close. Like I said, I think he's only got maybe 2 passes left. Alrighty, very nice. This guy is done his job, I believe. Yeah, there we go. He is done. And we have over headland of lime spread, which means we can get this guy started. Very nice. And this is the last field of seed that is going down. I think what I am going to do is soybeans, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do soybeans. Okay, course has been created. Seed has been selected. This guy can do his thing. It's going to take 25 minutes, but this will be the very last bit of farm work. Once this is done, we will be done all the field work for today. All right, there we go. The lime spreader is done on this field, which means it can go back in the shed now because that is the last of the lime that needs to be done. So we are definitely making progress, folks. We will be done with these fields very shortly. All right, there is the last pass, I believe. Where's he going? Yeah, that is the last pass of the soybeans for this first field. I think what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to fill back up with seed and fertilizer. I'm going to load the course that cedar is working right now onto this tractor. And then I'll just get him going about halfway through the rows so he can do sort of the other half of the field as the tractor that's on there now works towards it. So let's get this guy filled with seed. Okay, so I've got the track loaded onto this tractor now. I think if I've set this up right, he should, very nice, continue on like this. So he will knock out everything to the right, and that other tractor will start making his way over to this line that I'm creating now. And it looks just like as this guy was about to finish up, he ran out of seed, which isn't actually an issue because the case tractor is going to run to the north end of the field. So I'll actually just bring it back on its way back to the farm and do this last pass. So I can actually get this cedar and the tractor put away into the sheds. And this guy is done up on this part of the field. Like I said, I'm just going to unfold him again. And we are going to get that last little patch that the other drill ran out of seed before it could do done. So all we should have to do is just run right up through here. And click play. It's on set to nearest waypoint. So there we go. Very nice. All right, and just like that, we are officially done with these fields for now. They are going to need to be fertilized, and they are also going to need to be harvested. But that is it for the new fields. I'm really happy with how things look. We'll do a little tour around everything once we've put these tractors away. Alright, so all our equipment is put away. We've now got a John Deere 9520, a Case Magnum 400 power drive, a Case Magnum 3340 power drive, a John Deere 8370R, a Kloss Axion 870, and then a little Case IH Maxim CVX 145. So that's our main tractor collection. This is what we'll be using to run all our acres for now. We've got as well, of course, our John Deere corn planter. Finally figured out how to get seed back into this thing. We've got now 2 of these Rostelmash K12200 field creator cultivators. Wow, that's a mouthful. That took me a second. And then 2 of these Amazon Citan 1501. So we are looking good. We have a lot of equipment now. And then as well, we'll hop in our truck here and take a little tour of all the new fields. We have this path to the shop, what we've always had. I do still need to clean up sort of the entrance to the driveway and whatnot, but we now have a path out between these 2 fields. They're spaced out a little bit better. I'll probably add some trees around surrounding the fields because I think that would make it look nice. Maybe even some fences. I'm going to do a little drift as I need to turn around anyways. But yeah, we've got this path out here between these 2 fields, which is very nice. We've extended this field all the way down to that back sort of tree line, if you want to call it. We'll take a right down. We've reconnected this path from the original, and I can't say it, from the original map layout, how it was originally. I had it gone because this was all field, so I've shortened this field to my right, or narrowed it, I should say. I've narrowed this field to my left, but I've extended both of these. This field to my left goes out here to this tree line, and then we can see this field just kind of wraps around this whole tree line out into over there, and then again is kind of blocked off by that tree line. So we got much bigger fields than I think we had before, and I'll actually check the field sizes on them shortly. But if we go around this way, I don't have a path actually directly over to this other path. We'll have to connect it up probably on the other side of this forest tree bush area, I guess. Not really a forest, bunch of timber, whatever you want to call it. But if we can sneak past through here, and I had to cut this field off obviously because this elevation gets pretty steep, but we now have a path that as well can get extended. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that path through down into here, around this bush to the right here, and then back through, and then you can see sort of in the distance there's a bit of a path, broken up path. So I'll probably connect and continue on through there. But we've got these fields narrowed as well, either side of this path. More than enough space to go down here with any sort of equipment. And then this field as well was extended, just the one to my right. So it's about the same shape, it's just extended at the north side of it. And then now we've got a multi-fruit buying station there to service those 2 fields. And actually one thing I do want to do is I need to head to the shop and buy that trailer so we can get the wool into the new pallet storage area. And I cannot stop drifting in this thing. It's been kind of fun. Alright, hooked up to the new auto load trailer. This thing is a bit tricky to drive just because of the dual axis, I mean. But let's head over to the sheep and see how hard it is to pick up these pallets, and then we'll put them away in storage because unfortunately it is not the right time to be selling wool pallets. So I think all we need to do is just pull up right beside these things. Yeah, just like so. I'm going to loop back around so I can get a bit closer to the other row. I didn't want to just drive straight into this row. But it's nice having this gravel here around this. I don't know if you want to call it a silo, more as a storage building, but... Alright, there we go. We got our 9 pallets of wool, and what I actually want to do is... Well, we'll see. Sometimes when you put the pallets into these storage buildings, they recreate their own sort of pallet. So we'll see. We're going to come in here, we're going to turn off auto load, and we're going to dump about half of the bales into here. So let's get these loaded up. There we go. One thing I do want to see is if I can get... Yeah, I want to get this one out of here. and we'll just bring it right back into here, and it'll keep putting wool onto that pallet. So very nice. That works perfectly. And I don't know if they're gonna stack or if they just sit there on the ground. It'll be interesting to see what it does. But I'm just gonna bring the trailer. I'm gonna park it right beside this this shed and between the pen. So just leave it there for now. All right, let's put this truck away. Well, folks, that is all I have for you today. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode, because I really did myself. I think the farm looks so much better than it did even just 2 episodes ago. We've got a proper house now. We've got some paths to get around our fields, some proper paths as well. We've just generally cleaned our fields up overall. There was some really rough edges, some real bump outs, and it looked messy, but now we do have some really nice fields, and we've also got some really nice new tractors. I spent over $1 million on new equipment, so this was a huge episode, both for the bank account, not in a good way, but also just for the farm overall. We've got brand new tractors, we've got brand new fields, we also have brand new buildings. So this was all-in-one sort of episode. So I really hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, comment if you have any suggestions or any questions or just some feedback, because I really do appreciate your guys' feedback on these videos. It helps me get better at making them. It helps me grow and make more exciting content. So leave a like if you enjoyed it. I hope you guys do have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.